We've been dealing, or I've been working with a hospital that's been dealing with obviously a lot of COVID. And we had to send, we've actually got two BPOs. One has all of the agents remotely, the other one has on-prem. So it's been interesting to try to deal with this. And we've found three best practices on trying to support both remote and on-prem agents through this whole COVID-19 thing. To let you know that I would say I have implemented 15 different training sessions from the start of COVID because things change so rapidly. And so we've been working on knowledge, communication, and process. So on the knowledge side, the biggest thing is how do we make sure that the agents get all of this knowledge? So we've been working with getting the technology. And again, I'm going to focus mostly on the technology that we've been trying either to implement or to improve because of this. So we use e-learning, real simple tool, the Articulate online, very simple to implement, very simple to put both on-prem and remote. We've also been using Zoom to train remotely, and the breakout sessions would all have been really good for us because we do role playing in them. So we'll break everybody out into teams and they'll role play in the breakouts. That has been very, very important. And then we're piloting a simulation technology, which basically allows the person, the agent, to role play. It's not really a role play, but it's a true simulation with a simulated customer, a simulated coach, a simulated agent until they take over. So we've been piloting that as a remote training, and that's been going well. Then we have to assess all of these agents. So we train them, we do huddles, we do coaches, then we have to assess. All of you have probably quality monitoring technology, and so we have been using that. We do remote calibration still, where we all get on. Now we're doing 4 hours a week on calibrating on a new scorecard, especially since COVID is so new. We're also using the simulator, again, because we can test through it. And we do this thing called note checks. And so whenever an agent gets on the phone or it's a new call type, we do note checks. And we have, as our CRM, Salesforce, which I'm really glad that we do because there's a lot of things in there that we use. But for note checks, we do through the Omni channel. We've got a set of criteria that right in the middle of the call, there's a certain point in our calls where we have to transfer to the consumer to somebody in the hospital. And before they transfer, we do what we call a note check. And the note check says, have you done everything correctly up to this point? And the team leaders are what use the note check. And so we use Salesforce for the agent to notify the team leader that they're ready for a note check. The team leader picks it up, goes through the criteria of the call, picking the case up, et cetera, everything in, checking it that everything's right, sends it back to the consumer and says, please go ahead. If there's anything that they need to change, they will either do it through the chat through Salesforce, or they can't walk over if they're remote, but on one side they can walk over. The next thing we do is they have to access knowledge because we change it all the time. So we use Confluence. I am constantly in there updating the knowledge base, and we also implemented Jira on that side so that anybody could tell us when they think the knowledge is outdated and we need to update something. So the access and the keeping it up to date has been critical for us during this time for the remote. The next thing is the communication. So not only do we have this constant update on knowledge and training and all of that, we have the communication. Real time, we use Slack. So I've got a Slack channel for them that they use. And we also use Zoom chat. So it depends on which of the BPOs you're in, which one we use. We also use announcements in Salesforce. So every time I update something in the KB, the knowledge base, I put a Salesforce announcement into all of the agents and say, be sure to go look at this because something has changed. I also use the blog in the Confluence to make sure that anything that is not having to deal with real time, but they need to understand something that has changed in the hospital, I put a blog in. And the last thing that we've been trying to do is to make sure that the processes are as efficient and as effective as possible. An interesting technology that we're piloting right now is for authentication, because that, all of you know, hi, my name is Kay, how can I help you today? And then you go through what's your social security number, what's your address, what's all of this. This does it without them having to do any of that authentication, which really helps now that it cuts the remote time down, increasing the security, decreasing the time that they have to authenticate. That whole journey process has really helped us with the security side of working remotely as well. So again, and I've got a diagram with all of this in it to see how we've combined the knowledge, the communication, and the process to make sure during this rapid evolving knowledge remote time that we're supporting our people and making that customer. We always, in our world, we call it a boutique experience. And so when we changed to all of this remote, we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose that boutique experience. And so those are the things that we've done over time.